Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Please, if you are here, do let me know by simply stating your name and a comment that you are here. If you are here, simply state your name and state that you are here. I can see Rahma here. I can see Enola here. Okay, let me tell the people on WhatsApp that we are here so that they can join immediately. Okay, yeah, thank you, Enola and Rahma. We just wait for about 1 minute and we get started. Others will join us later on. So this is Azim Abolore, and I'll be taking you tonight on 15 questions issued ask when you are buying land for the very first time. And for me to be talking about this, you should know that I am a realtor, because it is only those who sell land that can know this. Excuse me. It's only those who sell land that can know these questions and the right answers to it. I actually compiled these questions from the frequently asked questions. I compiled them. Excuse me. I have cough, and that's why I have been clearing my throat like that. So just bear with me. So these 15 questions that I would be telling you, I actually compiled them from the questions my clients have been asking me. So I know those questions and I know the right answers to them. So be rest assured that you'll be getting the right answers as well to those questions. So be rest assured that you'll be getting the right answers to those questions. So let me begin straight away, because I want to do this maximum 1 hour, maximum 1 hour. Meanwhile, there will be opportunity for you to ask questions at the end of the session. So again, my name is Kazim Abolore, popularly called the Innovative Teacher, and I am a teacher. I am an author and also a writer. For people who have known before, they know that I have written 4 books: Teach to Influence, The Power of Attitude in Teaching, Right to Stardom, The A to Z of Effective Teaching. And I'm a teacher as well. I have been teaching for over a decade now. And also I'm a writer. I sell landed property. As a matter of fact, at the end of tonight's session, I will market some of our landed properties for you, which you may be interested. So that is just a little about who Kazim Abolore is. Now, what are you going to learn tonight? Just 3 things you are going to learn tonight. Just 3 things. Number 1, you will learn 15 questions you should ask when you are buying land for the very first time. It is my belief that for you to have been here, you have the desire to buy a land at one time of your life or the other. I believe strongly that for you to be here, you definitely have the desire to buy land at a time of your life. Maybe now, maybe later, maybe you have even bought before and you got scammed and you don't want to get scammed again. Maybe you have had people got scammed from buying land and you don't want that to happen to you. But I believe that you have interest in land. That is why you are here. So you will be learning 15 questions that you should ask when you are buying land for the very first time. Even if you are not buying for the very first time, these questions are necessary. The second thing you will learn tonight is, a moment, please. The second thing you will be learning tonight is you have an opportunity to become a landlord in 2020 with ease and flexibility. You also have an opportunity to become a landlord, a landowner in year 2022 that we have now with ease and flexibility. At the end of the webinar, I will show you some of our properties, and I will also show you the payment plan which comes with ease and flexibility, and you can get one of them. And then finally, you will have questions and answers. So for those people who want to ask questions about our landed properties, you will have opportunity to ask me questions. Please, if you are ready for this, comment in the chat box that I am ready, I am ready, I am ready, so that we can begin straight away. If you are ready, comment that I am ready, and I begin straight away. I am waiting for your responses. Thank you, Enola. She said she is ready. Thank you very much. So let me begin. 15 questions you should ask when you're buying land for the very first. The very first question you should ask when you're buying land. This is very, very important. The very first question is, what document or title does the land have? What document or title does the land have? This is the very first question you should have, because when you are buying land, there are different documents or titles that are involved. I will not go into the details of all the documents. I will only mention the very, very important ones. Excuse me. So when you are buying land, the document that the land have is very important. Is in fact one of the most important things you should consider when you are buying land. Now, what are the documents that are very, very important? Essentially, please, essentially, there are two documents that are very survey and deed of assignment. Those are the two most important documents that a land should have: survey and deed of assignment. Now, people used to think or used to ask for C of O. Why I agree that C of O is the Oga Patapata of all land documents, but I tell you that C of O is not even as, C of O does not transfer ownership. C of O does not transfer ownership. The document that transfer ownership is deed of assignment. And what survey, the other one that I said is important, what survey does is that it shows the boundary of the land. It shows the boundary of the land. It shows you that, okay, this land is government, is under government acquisition or is not under government acquisition. They get it now. So these are the two most important documents for land: survey and deed of assignment. C of O does not transfer ownership. What C of O is meant for is for the government in the future. And you know what? If you are watching this right now and you are a low income earner, by low income earner, I mean those $250 per month, $250 per month. Now, you should be talking about very, very expensive to get. Very, very expensive. In Lagos State, if you want to process C of O in Lagos State, you will have nothing less than 7 million naira. 7 million naira. So as a low income earner, someone who is below $250,000 in a month, where do you want to see 7 million naira? Now, if a real estate company has to go for a land, and the land and the cost of C of O is 7 million naira. So by the time the company will add the cost of the land and their own profits, you know that that land will be very, very expensive. They get that now. So the bottom line here is that C of O is not the most important. The two most important is, again, deed of assignment and survey. And let me bust your head with this, that there are houses of 30 years, 20 years, and they do not have C of O. There are houses of 30 years. In fact, if you check a street, there may not be one single house that has C of O. So never disturb yourself with, what about C of O? What about CF? What about CF, my dear? As long as the land has survey and there's date of assignment, my dear, you are good to go. Do you get that now? So that is the very first question and the right answer to it. What document does the land have? Do we get that? Please, do we get that? Let me know in the chat section. Please, do we get that? Let me know in the chat section so that I can proceed. Thank you, Enola. Thank you. Enola, please message me after this webinar. Please message me. So the second question you should ask when you are buying land for the first time is, what is the nature of the land? Is the land a dry land or a swampy land? That's the second question. Is the land a dry land or a swampy land? Now, you see, there are two types of land, and if you are buying land for the first time, you may not know this. So that is why I'm telling you, there are two types of land. There is the dry land and there is the swampy land. Which land is dry? Which one is swampy? Let me begin with a swampy land first. A swampy land is a water land. A swampy land is a land that has a lot of water. If you have been to areas like Lekki, Aja before, you will see a lot and a lot. Or if you have been to areas like Ikorodu or areas like Ijanikin before, you will know, you will understand this. So a swampy land, just like the name swamp. So a swampy land is a land that has water in it that you will need to fill it first before you even think of doing foundation. You need to fill it well before you do foundation. Now, a dry land, on the other hand, is the kind of land that is dry, that there is no water. In fact, when rain falls on a dry land, as soon as the rain stops like this, the land is dry. As soon as the rain stops, the land dries. So that is a dry land. Now, like I said, if you are a low-income earner, is anyone who earns below 150,000 naira every month. Now, if you're a low-income earner, it is not good for you to buy a swampy land. I don't know if I'm communicating. If you're a low-income earner, someone who earns below 150,000, which is $250 every month, it is not good for you to buy a swampy land because it will cost you millions of naira to firstly fill the land before you now think of building. Before you now think of doing foundation. And you know what? The cost of filling that land could do a 3-bedroom flat for you from foundation to lintel level. I don't know if I'm communicating. Please let me know in the comment section if I am communicating. So as a low-income earner, which land should you go for? A dry land or a swampy land? As a low-income earner, which land should you go for? Considering the fact that you firstly spend millions of naira on a swampy land before you do foundation. So which one should you go for? A dry land or a swampy land? I'm expecting your reply. I'm expecting your reply. Thank you, Mr. Taufik and Inola. A dry land, thank you. A dry land. A dry land is what you should buy because a dry land, we also call a dry land dig and build. We also call a dry land what? Dig, and because you just dig and you build, you don't need to do any sand filling. I know what one other advantage about a dry land is the fact that it takes just about two coaches for your foundation and you are done. There was one of our clients who started building in one of our estate, Bash Estate in Aton. He did his foundation about 2 weeks ago. You can imagine just two coaches and the foundation is set. The foundation is set. That is one big advantage of a dry land. But if it's a swampy land, oh my God, you don't want to even imagine it. So this is the second question you should ask. Is it a dry land or a swampy land? And if they tell you that it's a swampy land, my dear, don't run, no, flee. Don't run, do what? Flee. Flee is even faster than running. You get that now. So you should always go for a dry land. That's the second question. The third question you should ask is quickly, a moment, let me check my notes. The third question you should ask is, where is the physical location of the company? Where is the physical location of the company? If you are buying land from a real estate company, my dear, you should know where their physical office is located. This is very, very important. You see, some of the things I will be telling you this evening, many real estate companies some real estate companies will not like it because there are questions that they run away from. But me, I will tell you the truth. So the third question she asks is, where is your office? Where will our office be? And there, visit their office and see how things are run. Visit their office. So because we are talking of business of 30 years, 20 years, 40 years. Yes, we are talking because you see, some of the land that you will buy, it may be your children that will build it. It may be your children that will sell it. It may be your children that will use it. So we are talking of 20, 30 years now. So you want to really, really verify that you are buying a genuine land. So ask, where is your physical office? I learned that somebody bought a land in 1993 in Badagry. The person just, in 1992, the person just sold it this year. That is 20 years. It is 20 years. So you want to know the physical office of the company and see how things are run. You get that? So don't be in a hurry. As a realtor, I'm never in a hurry to sell to people. If you say it's 3 months time that you buy, no problem. If you say it is 6 months time that you buy, no problem. The only thing I know is that by that time that you say you want to buy, it's not the same price that you are going to buy it again, because the price of land never comes down. The price of land never comes down. It will always go up. So if you say that you want to wait for 6 months, no problem. I'm not in a hurry. If you want to do your due diligence, go and do it. You will come back to meet me here. But just know that that price will increase by the time you come back months later. So that's the third question. The fourth question is, what is the antecedent of the company? Find out yourself and find out from the agent that what is the antecedent of the company. And here you will ask questions like, okay, how many people can you say you have sold to roughly? How many people have you sold to roughly? Maybe a rough estimate. How many of them have started building? How many of them have collected allocation? How many of them have you done allocation for? Think it is now. So you want to know the history of the company. Ask, when was your company established? When did you start doing business? How many estates have you sold? How many people have you sold? Rough estimate. How many of them have you given allocation? How many of them have started building? These are history antecedent of the company that you should ask. Very important, because a company that has not been existing for at least 3 years, I'm telling you, does not have anything to lose, so to say. Does not have anything at stake. But a company that has been in existence for 3 years, at least 5 years, they already have name, and they don't want their name to spoil. So they have something at stake. But the company that just started yesterday, they can run away. There is nothing that they will lose. So you want to know the history, you want to know how long the company has been existing. For we in our own company, Namami's Good, we have been existing for 5 years, 5 good years. And we have sold land to over 500 people in the last 18 months. In the last 18 months, we have sold land to over, I alone, I sold land to about 220 people last year. I sold about 120 plots last year. Okay, let me say about 100 people, because there are some people who bought more than a plot. So if only me could sell to 100 people, and every day I go live on Facebook talking about it, and no single person has come out and said this guy is a scam, it tells you that this is really, really genuine. So these are antecedents. These are what? Antecedents. There's another colleague of mine who also sold about 120 plots. We are three that we led the sales record last year, and each of us sold nothing less than 100 plots. So within us alone, we have 300. Not to talk of other agents that sold 50, 60, 30, and likes. So this, and no single person come out and say that these guys are liars. That is antecedent. That is a record. That is history. And you know what? As we said to people, once they reach a particular figure, once they have paid 70% of their money, we do allocation for them. These are antecedents. You ask questions. Now, let me tell you, it is very important. When it comes to buying land, you can never ask so many questions. When it comes to buying land, you can never do what? Ask too many questions. Don't let anybody rush you. Don't let anybody push you and say, it is your money. Me, I'm always ready to answer clients' questions. Just assure me that you have the money, so that I'm not finished answering your 1001 question and tell me that there is no money now, you still want to go. Assure me that if I answer this your question satisfactorily, you will buy. I am always ready. The fourth question: what is the antecedent of the company? And in that, you ask, how long has your company been existing? You ask, how many people have you sold to roughly? You ask, how many people have you done application for? You ask, how many people have started buying? You ask so many questions there. The fifth question: what is the payment plan for the land? What is what? What is the payment plan for the? This is very important. Very important. You know why you must ask this question? That because you want to know how you are going to plan to pay for the land. As a Nigerian, we know that there are expenses here and there. So you want to plan yourself, and you want to pay for the land. So you ask, what is the payment plan? Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? Is it 18 months? You want to know all of this so that you use it to plan yourself. If it is 6 months, you are going to you are going to divide the price of the land by 6, and you know how much you are going to be paying every month. If it is 12 months, you want to divide the price of the land by 12 so that you know how much you'll be removing from your salary every month. If it is 18 months, you want to divide the price of the land by 18 months and know how much you'll be removing from your salary every month. And ask, is there a room for one-time payment? Can you pay upfront? All of these are questions that you should ask when you are asking about the payment plan. My dear, this you cannot get it anywhere. This that I'm telling you, you cannot get it anywhere. So that's the fifth question, the payment plan. What is the payment plan? Ask that if I default in a month, if I'm unable to pay, I think that is the next question. So that is the fifth question. What is the payment plan? Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? Is it 18 months? If it is 6 months, how much am I paying? If 12 months, am I paying? If it is 18 months, and if it is one-time payment, how much am I paying? Can I pay upfront? They get that. Are we learning, guys? Are we learning? Are we learning that? I want to know. I want to know if we are learning. Okay. Somebody, yeah, Infinix Smart. I don't know the person. The person is using Infinix Smart 3. He said he is learning. Very good. Let us continue. Thank you. Just she's learning. So the sixth question is, what happens when I am unable to finish paying? What happens when I am unable to finish paying? This is another question. You see, like I said, some real estate company will not like this that I'm doing because I'm entering into their dark room. Let me tell you one fact. Everybody is in business. Everybody is in business, and the nature of business is business runs well when money is paid on time. This is a general rule. Oh, is Magdia? I have known the person. Magdia, please message me after this webinar. Message me after this webinar. So what was I saying? Every business runs on money, and business run faster. Business do faster. Company do well. Company do well when payments are made promptly. This is a general for any business. Whether you are into buying and selling, whether you are into school business, whether you are into real estate, whether you are selling clothes, whatever you are selling, as long as it is business, it runs well when payments are made promptly. So you want to ask the company that, ask the real estate company that, what happens when I'm unable to finish paying? For some company, if you're unable to finish paying at a stipulated time, maybe the payment plan is 18 months, and you're unable to finish paying after 18 months, they will increase your balance. That is for some company. They may increase it by 10%, they may increase it by 20%, by whatever percent. So you want to know before you start, so that you know what you are going into. So that you know what you are going into. So you ask that, what happens when I'm unable to finish paying? For some company, they will, if you're unable to pay for 1 month, they will leave you. For the second month, they will leave you. But by the third month, you must pay. If you're unable to pay, they will increase your balance. Now, again, like I said, every business runs on money, and business do well when money is paid promptly. So they too, that they do it like that, they understand that we are in a volatile economy. Our economy is so volatile that the what you can buy with 50,000 naira in January, you cannot buy that same thing in February with 50,000 naira. I don't know if I'm communicating. We are in, our economy is so volatile that the item that 50,000 naira can buy in January, and 50,000 naira cannot buy that item in February. So if you are not paying for your land and you didn't pay for 3 months, it then means that that money has lost value by April. I don't know. Oh, please let me know if what I'm saying is making sense. If you are paying for your land, let's say you are paying 25,000 naira every month for your land, and you didn't pay for 3 months, it then means that your 25,000 naira has lost value by the 3rd month. So instead of them to now be at the loss end, they will increase your balance by maybe 10% or 20%. It depends on the company. There are different policies for the company, for different companies. So you want to know this before you start, so that it will not be after you have started and you fail to pay for a month, they will not say they increase your balance, and you'll be like, how did it happen? Did you tell me this before I started? And fight will now started. And you now be like, and people, they are easy to call a company scam. So you now start saying that this is your company. You do not even you do not keep to your word. You say you want to. No, it's not the company. It is you that didn't ask, because, like I said, many real estate companies or agents will not tell you this. But me, I will tell you. Let me give you an instance with our own company, as far as payment or defaulting is concerned. We do 18 months payment plan. 18 months, maximum 18 months. Usually, our payment plan is between 12 months or 15. So we now give a maximum of 18 months. That's okay, maximum 18 months. Now, what now happens if you default for a month? If you default for a month, before now, Nigeria is a country that the economy is so volatile. Imagine the petrol that we're paying at 145 before, now is 200. You get it now? So it's so funny. So before now, what we used to do is that we can give you 2 months grace. If you fail to pay, we can give you 2 months. Let's say you pay in January, you're unable to pay in February, no problem. You're unable to pay in March, no problem. But in April, you must drop something. You must drop something. You get it now? If you now fail to now pay for 3 consecutive months, we will increase your balance. You get it now? So, but now we have decreased it to 2 months. We only give 2 months grace now, because again, the economy of this country is just too volatile. What you bought with 10,000 naira in January, you cannot buy that same thing with 10,000 naira in February, and the money keeps losing value. So we give 2 months grace in our company. So if you don't pay, let's say you pay in January, for instance, you're unable to pay in February, my dear. In March, you should pay. In March, you should pay. They get that now. So you want to know this before you start, so that you know what you are getting into. The 7th question. The 7th question you should ask when you are buying up for the first time is, what other charges will I pay after buying the land? What other charges am I to pay after buying the land? My dear, this question, many people, many clients have called real estate companies fake, scam, and other derogatory names, because they did not ask this question at the beginning of the contract. That what other charges? There is never a land that you will buy that you will not pay for other charges. Quote me anyway that You buy a land, though, you do not pay for that charges. Never. It is either the company have added it together to the price of the land, or they are deceiving you. To the glory of God, to the glory of God, I am living in my house. I mean, the house I bought the land and built by myself. So I am talking from experience. And I tell you, I have bought land from an individual, I have bought land from a real estate company, and I can compare and contrast both. Even if you buy land from an individual, my dear, there are other charges that you pay. There are other charges that you pay for. So don't deceive yourself. If you buy land, you go pay for other charges. It's just like when you buy a car. If you buy a car, won't you register it? Won't you pay for insurance? Won't you buy plate number? Won't you pay for other charges? The same thing with buying land. You will pay for other charges. Don't get that straight. Get that word straight. So it is now your responsibility to ask that, I beg you, after paying for this land, which other payment am I going to make? Chikena. But I do not pay for that charges, is a lie. Now, because some real estate companies don't reveal this to clients at the beginning, clients now, they have now given it another name called hidden charges. And I tell people, when people ask me, like, okay, what are the other hidden charges? I say, no, there is no hidden charges. We don't have any charges that is hidden. It is other charges. Let me tell you one thing. In our own company, for instance, now, the money for the land is the actual money that belongs to the company. The land money, the money you pay for the land, is the one that the companies owns. You see, other charges, it does not belong to the company. It belongs to those that render that services. Let me now tell you the usual is called date of assignment. You go pay for RAM. Now you go pay for RAM. Maybe the company go pay them for you. Now you go pay for RAM. I've been at my name go there on inside the document. Now your name go there now. So you pay for deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is 10% of the cost of land. 10% of the cost of land. So if you buy a land for 1 million naira, for instance, you will pay 100,000 naira for the document. And this document is prepared by a lawyer. So that money goes into the pocket of the lawyer. Of course, the company will collect it on his behalf, but it is 10% of the cost of land. Another charges is allocation and corner piece. Allocation and corner piece. I will show you what allocation is later on in this webinar. So allocation simply means they are giving you your own portion of the land. And if they want to give you your own portion of the land, they will need to measure it. They will not use arm's length to measure it, or foot to measure it. No, it is surveyor that will measure it. That is his own job. He will measure it, and definitely he will be paid for that service. So that is allocation. Then the corner piece is the what is it called? The block that is molded on the 4 angles of the land. If you have been to a site before, or any land, you see that at the 4 angles of the land, there is an L-shaped block that is molded on the 4 angles of the land. That is what is called corner piece. That corner piece, it is bricklayer and labor that will do it. And they will definitely be paid for it. Look at it now. So These are the charges. And there's one more charges again. There's one more charges. That is development levy. Development levy. Now, because you are buying an estate, it is an estate that you are buying. You are not just buying any land on the streets. And let me tell you, let me quickly mention this before I forget that. Buying a land from a real estate company is by far, buying land from a real estate company is by far better than buying land from anyone on the street. I'm telling you, I've told you that to the glory of God, I live in my own house. And I have bought land from an individual, I have bought land from a real estate company. I can compare and contrast. Buying land from a real estate company is by far better than buying land from an individual. I just quickly mentioned that. So the third charges is development levy. Now, what does development levy means? It is the money that they will use to develop the estates. You are buying an estate, my dear, and in an estate, you know that there are some facilities that must be provided, like road, like drainage, like electricity pole, and the likes, isn't it? So this is the money that they will use to do those things. That's why it's called development levy. So these are usually the charges. You get that now. So please always ask that which other charges will you pay for after you finish payment. Am I communicating? The eighth question, I need to be moving fast now because of time. The eighth question is, how many minutes is the land to the main road? How many, thank you, Eniola. How many minutes would it take you from the land to the main road? You see this one? I said it again. Many real estate companies do not like this that I'm doing because they are person that they run away from. Imagine that. Oh my God. So how many minutes it will take you from the main road to the site? How many minutes it will take you from the site to the main road? Because you too want to start imagining how long it will take. And there's nothing wrong in saying, it will take you 30 minutes too. It will take you 15 minutes too. It will take you 10 minutes too. There's nothing wrong. It is you that you now start preparing your mind for it. Take for instance, where I live now, it's about 15 minutes to the main road. When you with bike or with car, it's not even 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes to the main road. You get it now? So you want to know beforehand how many minutes it will take you. So don't just believe what they say that, oh, it's 2 minutes to the main road, 5 minutes. No, like they ask. And I'm still going to get to the place of site inspection. I will still get there. So, but you should ask that how many minutes will it take you to the main road from the site? The next question, that is question number 9, is how soon can I start building on the land? Hello? Ask that how soon can I start building the house? For some company, you cannot start building immediately. For some, you can start building as soon as you finish paying for your land. In our own company, for instance, as soon as you finish paying for your land, pay for allocation and corner piece and date of assignment right there, you can start building your house. You can, in fact, we encourage that you start building as soon as you finish paying. And in some of our estates, people have already started building. Our chairman, which I'm still going to tell you about, encourage people, come and start building your house. Come and start building your house. Because listen, One of the mistakes people make in buying land is that they will buy land. They will buy land and then they will run away after paying for the land. Now, even if you want to bank the land, there's something called land banking. Even if you want to bank the land, fence it around. Even if you want to bank the land, fence it, because that is the physical possession of the land. That is when you have taken physical possession of the land. You see, the problem that people used to have that, they bought land from Momonile and they sold it to another person is because they did not take physical possession of that land. It has happened to me before. I know what I'm saying. It is because you do not take physical, if you have taken physical possession, it will be difficult for anyone to sell it. And you do not, when you buy land, it is land that you buy. When you now start doing something on it, no matter how small it is, once you start doing something on it, that is when that property. That's when that becomes what? A property. A land that nothing is done on it is just a land. But the moment one block enter ground like this, it don't become property. It don't become what? It has become property. So when you buy land and you are finished paying for it, don't just leave it like that and run away. Please go and do something on it. It has happened to me before. I bought land. I didn't do anything on it. They almost collected it back home. They almost, if not for God and people that I ran to, and they made me know that, okay, you bought land since last year. You did not do anything till this year. I think you'll be looking at it again. Don't go and do something and see if you will not collect it. So you ask the real estate company that, when can I start building? They get this enough. And if you are not building, if you want to keep it for the future so that you can sell it, do fence. Even if it is just 3 foot, do fence around it. And your land is safe. What number are we now? I mean, what number are we going to now? What number are we going to now? Number 10, thank you. Oh dear. Question number 10 you should ask is, can I leave the land for years? And how long can I leave it before I can start building? That's like 3 in 1. Can I leave the land for years? I want to resell in the future. I want to bank the land. There's something they call land banking. Can I leave the land for years? And if I can, how long, and how long can I leave before I can start building? Let me quickly answer that. In our own real estate company, for instance, like I said, once you finish paying for your land and you do your documentation, like, then come and start building. We have people who do that. They will come with their labor, they will come with their block, they will have put block there, they will have put sand there, they will have put cement somewhere, they will have bought granite there, and they will come with their laborers. We get it now. So, can I leave the land for years? You should ask, please. Ask that, oh, this land I'm buying now, I'm just buying it for the future. I'm buying it for the future. Can I leave it? No, because there are some real estate companies that after 5 years or after 3 years, it depends on companies. There are different policies for different companies. For some companies, it is after 3 years. For some companies, it's after 5 years. If you do not do anything about it, they will buy it back from you. And the buy that they will buy it back, whenever you want to collect your money, is that value of money that you bought that they will give it to you, that they give back to you. That they give back to you. You get that? So you want to know that I'm leaving this thing for the future. Can I leave it for the future? If yes, how many years can I leave it for? Now, in our own real estate company, now let me quickly be answering that. In our own real estate company now, you can leave it for as long as you want, but do us a favor. do us what? A favor. If you want to keep it for the future, I beg, do the fencing of your land. You don't want wahala. You don't want what? You don't want wahala. So fence it round. It is safe. It is what? It is safe. So ask that question that, can I leave it? Can I leave the land for years? And how long can I leave it before I can start building? For our own company, we can leave it for as long as we want, but do us the favor of fencing it. And if you want to build, after you finish paying your land, you can start building. Do you know that with about 300 or 350,000, we can do foundation of 3-bedroom flats? With 350,000, you can do the foundation of 3-bedroom. And that 350,000, you can start by buying sand first, maybe sand of 50 or 60K. Buy granite on the land, maybe 60K, making 120. Buy block of about 300 blocks, and the rest will be for water, will be for laborers and miscellaneous. The person that I said started building our 20, that was how he did it. He bought sand, he kept it there. Bought granite, kept it there. Bought block, kept it there. And the day it was ready, he has bought cement. He has paid for people that are selling cement. Inside, you see people that are selling all these things, cement, water. They get it now. He has paid for them. And the day he wanted to come, he came with his laborers, and they brought the cement, they used it. And after that day, it's just a 1 day, 2 day work. I think the guy used 2 days. So after they went somewhere to sleep, and the following day they came back, they continued. And when they finished, he went, he left. By the time we will come back now, it is another thing that you'll be doing. It's another thing. So, you see, building a house is tough. I'm not saying it's not tough. I've been there before. It's tough. But it is not as tough as people used to think. Do you know that this is my house? This is my very beautiful house. Yes. When I was building it, sometimes I spent 50,000 naira on it. Sometimes 30,000, 50,000, 70,000. Though sometimes 100, 200. But as small as 30, 50,000, I spend it. The day I have money for block, I go and give the man, I will go and give it to the man that sells block. Take 20 blocks. The day I want to buy sand, the day I have 50,000, I need to buy sand. The day I have 30,000, I used to go and buy. I used to be there. When I wanted to do the aluminium for the windows, the guy charged me, I think, 160K. 160K. I firstly gave him 40,000. 40,000. Then I gave him, and I was just keeping the money with him, and he was using it to buy materials. So sometimes people just used to think that it is one day that they will start building, and that the next day they will finish. They will tell you that when you are not the son of Dangote. I spent 3 years to build this house. I know someone who spent 11 years. 11 years. Ask your landlord, how long did it take him to build that house? He will tell you. Some landlords spent 8 years, 10 years. I know someone 11 years, I'm telling you, before you finish building his house. But today, don't become story now. You don't live inside your house. You get this now? So that's just a digression. Back to where we are coming from. So that is the 11th question. The 12th question is, when do they go for site inspection? I beg you, ask this question from the real estate people, that when do you guys go for site inspection? Hey, see this question, many people have fallen into scam because they did not go for site inspection. And our own company, let me quickly mention this. And this is why I really, really love Mabis Good Homes. That is the name of our company. That is the shirt that I'm wearing here. Can you see? Can you see Mabis Good Homes? That is why I love this company so much. The company says that don't pay for land yet. Go for site inspection first. Don't do what? Don't start paying for your land yet. Go and see the land. You know what that does? It does many things, but let me mention two. Number one is that it shows fairness. It shows fairness that you are fair enough. Don't pay for the land. Just go and see the land first. Then when you come back, come and tell us if what you want is what you see. Then another thing that this does is that I tell you that 90% of those who go for site inspection end up buying. That is the fact. We have the numbers, we have the data. 90% of those who go for site inspection with us end up buying. They end up buying because they are wow with what they see. They're like, wow, I can't just but buy this land. 90%. But then we do understand that there are some people who are maybe outside of Nigeria or outside of our state or somewhere that is not close to where we are, and they still want to buy. So what do we do for those people? We cannot someone to come from US because you want to buy land. I have clients in US. I have clients in UK. I have clients in Abuja. I have clients in Kano. I have clients in Delta State. I have clients in River State. I have clients in Oshogbo, Gomosho. So we cannot ask those people to come for site inspection. So what do? We do video for them. We do video for them, or we do virtual inspection. So when we go for site, meanwhile, we go for site inspection every Saturday. What did I just say? We go for site inspection a real estate company that doesn't go for site inspection every time, or at least once in a month, like there is suspicious. And I'm not joking with this. I'm serious with this. Any real estate company that doesn't go for site inspection at least once in a month is suspicious. There's something they are hiding. I'm telling you the truth. We go for site inspection every Saturday. We went for site inspection yesterday. We went last week Saturday. We will go for another one next week Saturday. There's no Saturday that we don't go for site inspection. And I tell you that 90% of those who go for site inspection with us end up buying. So what is my point here is that ask, when do you go for site inspection? When do you go for site inspection? Any real estate company that doesn't go for site inspection at least once in a month is suspicious. There's something that are hiding. And in our own company, we go for site inspection every single month. The 12th question. The 12th question is, when do they do allocation? You ask, I beg you, when do you do allocation? And when are they do allocation for people? And let me explain what allocation is again. I've explained it before, but let me explain it again. Allocation is when they give you your own portion of the land. The land is a vast land. So they will have to apportion it, to allocate it plot by plot. So you now ask, when do you do allocation? For some company, they do allocation as soon as you start. So for some company, they do allocation after you pay half. For some company, they do allocation for you after you pay 70%. For some company, they do allocation for you after you finish paying. So ask, Ask that, when do you do allocation? When do you do allocation? Listen again. Listen again. I'm a realtor and I've been a realtor for more than a year. I've sold over 100 plots of land. I have bought land myself. So I have experienced it all. Listen to me. A real estate company that doesn't do allocation in 180 days. 180 days is 6 months, right? Any real estate company that doesn't do allocation in 180 days is suspicious. I say it. Any real estate company that doesn't do allocation in 6 months, 180 days is suspicious. There is something wrong with that real estate company. You want to tell me that in 6 months nobody finished paying? You want to tell me that in 6 months nobody pay up to 50%? There's something they're hiding. And in our own company, Mabis Good Homes, we'll do allocation every 3 months. Every 3 months, do allocations. In fact, our own company, I've never seen the type before. I'm telling you, because we are eager to give you your land. We are eager to give you your land. So once you pay up to 70%, we do allocation for you. Once you have paid 70% of your money, we do what? We do allocation for you. Before we used to do 50%, but people have now abused it. They will not pay again. We have now increased it to 70% payments. So once you have reached 70%, my dear, say, hey, come and pay for allocation and come and collect your land. We want you to start having that feeling of being a landowner. Oh my God. We want you to start having that feeling. Is that not good? So ask that, when do you do allocation? When do you do allocation? That is question number what? Question number 12. Now, number 13. Question number 13. Can I go for inspection before I start paying? Can I go for inspection before I start paying, my dear? Very important. Very, very important. Many real estate companies say, go and pay you, go for inspection later. Hey! When you now go for inspection, after you have started paying, you now find out that the land is a swampy land. Hey! And you have paid up to 80%, and there's no refund. What is going to happen? Tell me what is going to happen. This is why you must ask person. Or they now take it to the side after you have paid 80%, or you have even finished paying. Now find out that the land is a slopey land. Hey, you know a slopey land, a land that one place will go up, another place will come down, and it will now be like this, slopey land. That place that goes up is fine. You know that place that comes down, by the time we want to do foundation, but then we want to do foundation, now that time we go no say, I cannot be leather. So this is why you must ask, can I go for site inspection before I start paying? And please always go for inspection before you start paying. If you cannot go for inspection, do virtual inspection or tell them to record for you. You get that now? That's question number 13. Question number 14. Question number 14 is, do I have the right to sell the land in the future? There's a reason why you must ask this question, and I will tell you the reason. The reason is that, like I said, different companies have different policies. For some company, you have the right to sell in the future to anyone. For some other company, their policy says that we, the company, have the right, we are the first person that you should consider to sell to. In fact, we have the right to buy back from you in the future. different companies with different. For some company, their own policies that yes, you can sell to anyone in the future, but we must be aware of it. This is about 3 policies now. Some say that okay, you have the right to sell in the future to anyone. Some say that no, the company, have the right to buy back from you, except if you now say that you do not want to buy back from you, and you can now sell to any other person. Some companies say that yes, you can sell to anyone, but just let us know. For each of them, they have their own reason. In our own company, for instance, Martins Gold owns, we say that yes, you are free to sell to anyone, but please let us know. You know why we must let us know? Again, we are talking of 30 years, 40 years matter here. Some children that will even use the land or build it or whatever, they have not given back to them. So we don't want to involve in something that later in the future somebody will now come and be dragging us. So we want to sell the land to someone. Let us know. Let us, so that God forbid, let us say that somebody buy land from us and now sell it without our knowledge to an herbalist. And there are neighbors by the right and by the left. And the herbalist is now doing, Babalawo is now doing ritual there. You know that the neighbors, they do not know you who bought the land from us, who now sold it to Babalawo. It is we, the company, that they know. So who will they drag? It is we that they will come and drag. It is we that they will now put into trouble. Whereas we don't know that we have sold it to a Babalawo. So that is why Mabis God says that yes, you are free to sell it to anyone, but please let us know, so that when there is an issue, we will be responsible for it. We will be responsible for it. So ask that, do I have the right to resell the land in the future? And hear what they will say. Maybe you have the right, maybe you do not have the right, maybe you have the right to sell back to the company. So that is the 14th question. And the last question is, how do I get started? You see where getting started is last place. Last place. That how do I get started? I want to start and I want to buy land. I want to buy now. How I could take start? Is there any registration form to pay for? That's like 2 in 1. How do I get started? How do they start? And then, is there any registration form? Please ask. Very important. Some people will not tell you at the beginning that you pay for registration form. When I think I want to start to make I pay my first deposit, and say, you pay for registration form, you'll not be like, which registration form again? So ask. How do I get in our own company? And that is where I'm heading to now. In our own company, the way to get started is just 3 steps. 3 steps to get started. Number 1, just a moment, let me share the slide. How to get started with Mabis Gold Homes. And then I will tell you the estates that we have. Just a moment, let me share my screen. How do you get started if you want to buy land with Mabis Gold Homes? If you want to buy land from us, just 4 steps. Number 1, show interest that you want to buy land. And how do you show interest? Just send a WhatsApp message to me. I want to buy land. I want to buy land. Simple. That's the first step. So the second step is to pay for registration form. That's the second step. Pay for registration form. And once you pay for registration form like this, you will be added to the WhatsApp group of fellow landowners. The moment you pay for form like this, we will add you to the WhatsApp group of fellow landowners. So you start seeing your neighbors, start interacting with your neighbors. And the third step is to now go for site inspection. Paying for registration form is a prerequisite to go for site inspection. We didn't say you should come and pay for the land yet. We say go and pay for form, and then you can take it to site. And we'll take it to site and bring you back free of charge. Is what free of charge? The picture you are seeing by your left, that picture you are seeing by your left is a site inspection to one of our estates. In fact, that is a Godswill estate. Yeah, that is Godswill estate. This is an inspection to one of our estates. So that is the third step. The third step is to go for site inspection. And the last step is to now begin the monthly installment payments. Simple. That's how to get started with us. Show interest by simply sending me a WhatsApp message. I want to buy land. The second step, pay for registration from 5,000 naira and we add it to the WhatsApp group. Third step, go for site inspection. If you cannot go for site inspection, maybe out of busyness, or you're out of Nigeria, or you're not close to where we are, we can send you videos, or we do virtual inspection. And the last step is to now begin your monthly installment payments. That's it. So what are the lands that we have? Let me show you. Let me quickly mention this. At Mabis Gold Homes, I think I have, this is our office. This is our office right here. Can you see it? Please let me know in the comment section. Can you see that building, that upstairs, and that signboard having Mabis Gold Homes Limited? The number you are seeing there is the number of our chairman. You see those people standing beside that that signboard? That girl, that beautiful yellow purple, that's our secretary. And the man in blue shirt and face cap is the chairman. That's the chairman, Mr. Ashimolowo Ademuyiwa. Ashimolowo Ademuyiwa. You can Google his name. You can Google the name of the company. You can. Mr. Ashimolowo Ademuyiwa is a lecturer at Adenin Ogunsanya College of Education. Now it has now become a university. Lagos State University of Education. So he's the lecturer there and he's chairman of the company. So that's our office. And anytime, any day, except Sundays, our office is open. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our office is open. Our office is at number 14, Remi Ogunjimi Street, Igbeda. Number 14, for those in Lagos, you know Igbeda very well. Number 14, Remi Ogunjimi Street, Igbeda. So that's our office. And we have, presently, Mabis Gold Homes have 15 estates. Mabis Gold Homes has how many estates? 15 estates as we speak. Mabis Gold Gardens, Eagles Garden, Love Garden, Ruby Estate, Roffy Estate, Bash, Gold, Godswill, Grace, 15. But I choose these three. I choose to tell you about these three estates. The first one is Roffy Estate in Ikorodu, Lagos. Roffy Estate in Ikorodu, Lagos. And Roffy Estate is 4.5 million per plot. 4.5 million. And you spread the payment over 12 months. You just divide 4.5 by 12. Whatever it gives you is what you'll be paying per month. Then we have Wisdom Estate Owode, which is 700,000 naira. Wisdom Estate Owode is in Owode Ederoko in Ogun State. And it is just 1 hour, 45 minutes from Egbeda, Lagos State. You heard that I said that our office is in Egbeda, Lagos State. Wisdom Estate Owode is Owode Ederoko, and it is just 1 hour, 45 minutes from Egbeda, Lagos State. And it is 700,000 naira. So you pay 50,000 naira every month. Wisdom Estate with 700 naira for a plot. Then we have Honey Gardens Lifestyle, Owode as well. 1 hour, 45 minutes from Egbeda, Lagos State. 15 minutes from Covenant University. 15 minutes from Covenant University. Kenaland, Bishop Oyedepo's Kenaland. 15 minutes from there and 30 minutes from Alton Roundabout. Honey Gardens Lifestyle, Owode is in Owode Idiroko, and 1 hour, 45 minutes from Egbeda, Lagos State, 50 minutes from Bishop Oyedepo's Kenaland, and 30 minutes from Alton Roundabout. And this Honey Gardens Lifestyle is 350,000 naira for a half plot. 350,000 naira for a half plot. Now, the reason why we have Honey Gardens Lifestyle as a half plot is because of those who cannot afford a land of 700,000 naira, which is a full plot. So we now have Honey Gardens Lifestyle. So that Honey Gardens Lifestyle, it is only half plot that is there. Anybody that is buying land there is buying half. It is meant for those who cannot afford the land of 700,000. You get that now? So that land is 350,000 naira half plot, and you pay 25,000 naira every single month. I hope that is taken. I hope that is taken. So again, how do you get started? Show interest firstly. Pay for registration form so that I can go for site inspection, and then can begin your installment. So at this point, let me allow you to ask me question. That is my beautiful face, and that is our office. Right there is our office. You get that now? That is our office. And then, so that is it, guys. You can now ask your question within 5 to 10 minutes before we call it a day. If you have a question, please ask in the comment section so that I can quickly answer it. Let me stop sharing so that you can now see me, so that you can see my face. So I'm expecting your question. Why I'm expecting that? What I tell people is that go for site inspection. Let us go for site inspection. Maybe next Saturday, let us go for site inspection and let us go and see the land. Okay, Nola is saying something. She said, I think you have answered all the questions I have. That's why I tell people, attend this webinar. It is free. It is free. Most of your questions will be answered in the webinar. Thank you, Eniola. So, Eniola, will you join us for site inspection next Saturday? Will you join us for site inspection? It's just 5,000 to go for site inspection. And that is not even up to what some people spend on data or on buying clothes for one day. Will you join us for site inspection? We will take you there and bring you back free of charge. I will be there as well. You see. Okay. Say you discuss with your hobby. Okay, discuss with him and get back to me. And if, because from experience, we know that we found out that not many husbands want their wife to buy land. Yes, talking from experience. If I would have had some couples whose husband said that, no, if you buy that land, I'm going to divorce you. So we encourage that, tell him, and if he says no, maybe he's not convinced, you can talk. Someone is asking, when will you start selling outside Lagos? The one we are selling is outside Lagos now. Owode is in Ogun State. It's outside Lagos. It's in Ogun State. And distance is not a barrier. Maybe you are in Kwara or you are in Ibadan or somewhere. It's not a barrier. I said this now that I have clients in US, I have clients in UK, I have clients in Delta State, I have clients in Kano, I have clients in Abuja, I have clients in Rivers, I have clients in Oyo. So this one is not a barrier. It's not a barrier. It's not only where you live that you can buy land. You can have land anyway. Nigerians have properties in Dubai now. And it's even the prayer of many people to have properties outside of the country. So don't limit yourself that, oh, this is where I live, that I must buy land. No. Meanwhile, your first house is not your dream house. Maria, your first house is not your dream house. Where I'm living now, as beautiful, my house is fine. As beautiful as it is, it's still not my dream house. Yes, it's not my dream house. So it doesn't matter. What matters is buy first. Buy. What the kokorano, the kokorayo. You know, it is the fact that it's always difficult. After I bought this land, I have bought two other land. But before I bought this one, yes, they get this now. So this one is a barrier. Where are you, Maria? Where do you stay? Quick one. Where do you stay? We have 5 more minutes. FCT Abuja. I have clients in Abuja. In fact, the client I have in Abuja, he bought Eagles Garden. And after he finished paying for Eagles Garden, he now bought another land, Grace Estate. In fact, he even brought his son to also buy. His son buy Mabi's Goat Garden. And the son is not even in Nigeria. The son is in which country now? I've forgotten the name of the country. So if people outside of Nigeria can be, and you know, if people outside of Nigeria are buying this estate, there's something that buying this land, there's something that I think that you are not seeing. There's something that they are seeing that you are not seeing. So there is not an excuse. Abuja people, they buy this land. Abuja people, they buy this land. So Maria, will you buy? Will you buy? Will you buy, Maria? So what I wait for is, I'll reply. I believe that most of you here have my WhatsApp number, and inshallah, she said she will buy, inshallah. So I'll message you now, message in your as well. So that's it, guys. Those are 15 questions that you should ask when you are buying land for the first time. So let us go for site inspection for those who are around. For those who are not around, let us do virtual inspection, or send you videos of the site you watch, and you start paying for your land. And before you know it, you will finish paying for it. So that's it, guys. I think there is no another question. But if there is, in the WhatsApp group that we have, you can drop your questions there. So that's it, guys. Thank you for having me. Thank you for joining me for this webinar. Thank you for staying behind till now, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, and may God bless every one of us, and may God make every one of us a landlord. May we not die as a tenant. May the Almighty provide for us so that we can buy land. May the Almighty make our business boom so that we can have money to buy land. May Almighty send helpers to us to make us achieve this, our long-term dream. May Almighty provide so much for us that we buy the one that we build, we buy the one that we are going to sell, we buy the one that our children are going to inherit from us. May Almighty make us a landlord now and this year. Thank you, and see you in the other room.